Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to go to Taunton to see what games I can pick up for my collection right behind me. So first of all, I'm going to go to MT Games in Taunton to see what I can find. So let's see what they have.
Yeah, now in MT Games, this was more of like the more modern stuff. When I say modern stuff, like 360, Nintendo Switch, but they did have some nice retro stuff at the bottom here, as you can see here, with all the stuff there. They had all single DS games as well. Any there I should have picked up, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, let me show you the other display case. Yeah, this is the other display case it did have. This was mostly retro stuff, as you see, GameCube there, N64. They had Dreamcast at the bottom, which I'll show you in a minute. They had a lot of stuff here. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything I wanted to pick up from these display cases, but I did pick up one game from here, but I'll show you that after. Yeah, this was the Dreamcast section, and also majority the PS1 section. They didn't have anything PS1 related I wanted here, and I've never really been interested in the Dreamcast. Let me know down in the comments if you collect for that console. But these are all of the PS1 games they did have in the store, and it's a very wide variety, which is really nice to see, and you never really see that often. But yeah, that's all they had. So yeah, now over to the Sega Mega Drive and Master Systems games. It did have a really good variety here. I don't really collect this sort of thing, but it was nice to see it. Then PS2 games here, they had a wide variety also. They had this small selection of PSP games right there. Then more PS2 games at the bottom here, and Sega Mega Drive and Master System games there. And yeah, that's what they had at this little section here. So yeah, this was the Wii section and Wii U section you did have. They had a good variety, to be fair. There wasn't as much as I thought there would be, but they did have a lot of exclusive Wii games. But let's go over to now the DS section. So yeah, this was the DS and 3DS selection they did have here, which is a good variety from exclusive titles to obscure titles. They had a wide variety, and I do recommend coming here if you are a DS collector. As I said, they did have quite a lot of variety. I also did pick up one game from this section, so what do you think it is? Let me know down in the comments.
So yeah, as you can see from the clips of MT Games, they had a wide variety of stuff there. I'm very happy with the stuff they actually did have. Unfortunately, it only came out of one game from there. But if you are in that area in Taunton, definitely make sure to go in there and look in there for stuff that they have, because they had a lot of wide variety from Dreamcast and all the way up to like modern games. So make sure to go and check them out because their prices are really good. As I said, it only came out of one game, unfortunately, but this game had been on my list for a while, and that is Power Rangers Super Legends. Now, here, there's the front, and there is the back. Now, it is a like side-scroller beat-em-up, as you see there. What I'll do is I'll put some gameplay in a minute and show you the actual game. But, yeah, there's the back, and then obviously in here as well. There's the manual. Yeah, game is really good. I used to play this quite a lot as a kid, so when I saw it in there, and it's the same price as in CX, pretty sure, so I paid £3 for this, as you can see there. I'll put it up here anyway, where else you can pick it up. But yeah, for £3, it's not a bad deal, and it's in really good condition, and a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, since I forgot about it, basically. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to cut to now the gameplay of this game.
This is the gameplay for Power Rangers Super Legends. Now, this is the menu they have at the beginning. So you have your create profile here, which I already have, but in profile 2 and 3. It also shows you your stats of how many diamonds you've picked up, time you played, and obviously percentage you completed. So I've only played like 4%, so it's not too much into the game. And then there's a continue menu. The top screen is mostly for basically dialogue. Sometimes you don't have to really read it. It is mostly just, you can just click through it, basically. You don't have to worry too much. But the overall actual gameplay itself is quite smooth. But let's go through this portal. This is the character selection here. I haven't unlocked all of them, so there's not a lot of characters I can choose from. The top bit here is basically your health bar and how many gems you've got overall. And obviously your power-up is the purple little bit there as well. The gameplay itself is quite smooth. It does have its jankiness, which is expected with a Nintendo game, especially with a beat 'em up. But apart from the jankiness, it is majority time is quite smooth to play. When it comes down to the villains as well, as I said, I'm very early into the game, so I don't know what villains there are, but you do get the kind of like the basic ones at the beginning, obviously. The jumping in this game is kind of hit and miss as well. Sometimes you won't jump high enough, or sometimes you won't jump at all. So just bear that in mind if you are trying to go really quickly through levels, because you can die pretty easily with gaps. But apart from that, I am enjoying this game so far. The combat itself, as I said, is quite smooth. It does have some frame rate drops occasionally, and that's not as good, obviously, if it has massive frame rates. But as I said, the combat here is really good. They have a combo meter. But let's go through to this bit here. So basically, this is like an area, safe area. But if you look at the top here, this is where it tells you how many lives you've got, how many of the villains you've killed, and how many like points you've got at the top, which is quite good.
So yeah, as you can see from the gameplay of that, it's a really nice, like, retro sort of style beat 'em up. So if you are into that, and for the price, you can't go too wrong. So make sure to keep an eye on this if you are into that sort of stuff. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the actual Taunton CX to see what they have. So yeah, let me see what they got.
So yeah, now into Taunton CX. This is what they had in their display window inside. Quite a lot of good stuff. They have that Metroid steelbook there. A lot of controllers, Switch controllers, DS lights, and they had that Pokemon tracker finger. These are what the PS1 games did have in the window and Dreamcast. But yeah, there wasn't really anything in this window that I was really looking for, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, let's go over to now the PS3 section. So yeah, this was the PS3 section you did have in the store. Very common titles, a lot of Call of Duty, so if you are a fan of that, definitely come to Taunton CX. But I did pick up one game from here, but let's go over to now the PS2 section. Yeah, this is the PS2 section they did have in Taunton CX. They had a really good variety here. I did pick up a few games from this section here, but yeah, look at that case there for Hyper Street Fighter 2. How does that even happen? Let me know down in the comments if that's ever happened to you and you've seen that. But yeah, they did have a wide variety here, as I said, and I did pick up a couple of games. But yeah, that is the PS2 selection that they did have. Last but definitely not least, this is the 360 section that they did have, but I didn't pick anything up from here. So what I'm going to do is go back home and show you what I did pick up from this CX.
So yeah, as you can see from the clip there of Taunton CX, they had a really good variety of stuff there. Unfortunately, some of the games were in really bad condition, as I saw in the clip, which I don't even know how it's possible that has even happened. But let me know in the comments if that's ever happened to you in either a CX or in a normal game store. But I did pick up 5 games. What I'll do is I'll show you the 2 expensive games I did pick up at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around to the end. But first of all, I'll show you the PS3 game I did pick up, and that is Iron Man 2. Now, I paid £6 for this. I'll put up where else you can pick this up from. Now, I haven't got the first one yet, but I definitely will sooner or later. But for £6, not a bad deal. I have heard this is an okay game, considering it's a licensed game. So hopefully it's good, and for £6 it's not too bad if it is really bad, and I'm actually happy to have this in the collection because I'm trying to get all of the Marvel video games. But then there is the back, and obviously this did come with a manual. There you go, which is really nice to see when you have manuals with this as well. And then obviously behind it is like Iron Man with his blaster at the back, which is always nice to see a little bit of cover art on the back. That is the game that I did pick up for the PS3. As I said, never really played these sort of games, made by Sega or published by Sega, may I say. So we can't go too wrong. Sega makes some really good games we used to back in the day, so hopefully it's one of them games which are really, really good and very underrated. Then the second game I did pick up is a really obscure game, in my opinion. I never really see anyone talk about it. It's on the 360 and I only paid £2 for this game. Now, if you're a fan of a certain genre, you definitely like this game and worth picking this one up, and that is Section 8. Now, this game, as I said, is £2. It's only on 360, I'm pretty sure. I'll put it up here if it isn't, but I'm pretty sure this was a Xbox 360 exclusive. I know it doesn't have the title bit there, but for £2, not a bad deal at all. If you are a fan of Halo, especially like the older ones like Halo Reach and ODST, worth picking this one up. The combat is actually really good. I've played this before back in the day. I had it on Xbox Game Gold, whatever it's called. Couldn't get the words out there. But very, very good game. And if you are interested in Halo, worth picking this one up. And for £2, you can't go too wrong, can you really? And then there is the back. And I said, it's like very Halo inspired, basically. And then obviously this did come with a nice manual and disc. Couldn't get the words out there. Unfortunately, I don't know how you get this sticker off the manual. If you do know, let me know down in the comments. But I do have trouble sometimes with these stickers, so if you have any advice on these, make sure to put it down in the comments because it'd be much appreciated. But yeah, for £2, not a bad deal at all, and it's very good condition. Good condition to go into the collection. Tongue twister there. But yeah, very, very good addition. Then the third game I did pick up is on the PS2, and it is going towards the WWE collection behind me. Guess in the comments now before I show you what WWE game do you think it is. But I'll let you ponder on that for a little bit. But I did get SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. I paid this £3.50 for this. Adding it to the WWE collection behind me. Because I'm trying to get every WWE game made or published by THQ. So this one is surprisingly hard to find. I don't know if it's just because it's a later title. I know this was on the Xbox 360, but I just wanted it on a PlayStation because I'm trying to get it all on PlayStation. I know some stuff I can't get on PlayStation, obviously, because it never actually went on PlayStation. But for £3.50, not a bad deal. I'll also put up where else you can pick this up from. As I said, it's on the 360, and I think it's like on the DS maybe. It's like one of them ones where it was in between different console generations. Yeah, but for £3.50, not a bad deal. And then there is the back. Let me know in the comments what your favourite WWE game is. Mine has to be probably WWE 2006 SmackDown vs. Raw. And then you've got the lovely disc, which is, I love the contrast of that, and the manual is in very, very good condition. That is very rare to come across with games this cheap. Normally they are completely ripped and broken. But yeah, for £3.50, not a bad deal. So that means I'll put the game up here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cross it off, and then that goes into the WWE collection behind me. So yeah, that is the last PS2 game. Well, actually, or is it? So these are the two expensive games right at the end. So if you have got to this far, thank you. Also, they're expensive. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the PS3 game that I did pick up. This is one of my kind of expensive games I do now have in my PS3 collection. It's one that I've been wanting for a while, and I've never really seen it in good condition until now, and that is Saw, the video game. Now, I paid £22 for this game. Very, very okay game. It's not the greatest game. I'm not going to say it's the greatest, but I do generally like playing this game. I've been playing a little bit of it recently as well, since I bought it, obviously, and it's a very, very good game for me. I like Saw, so it's kind of nostalgic for me. So if you are into the Saw franchise or sort of that sort of genre, you definitely enjoy this. And then there is the back, and then obviously you have the manual in here as well, with a disc there with the Saw logo on it and Saw, which is quite funny. And the manual is in very good condition. With games like this, especially the price, try and get the manual, because that's what basically makes the price better, personally. But what I'll do is I'll put it up here how much it is on other consoles. I'm pretty sure it's just on the 360. I don't think it's on anything else apart from that, and obviously the PS3. There is alternate covers for this. If I can find it, I'll put it up here as well. But for £22, and it's a kind of a grail for me. I'm very happy to have this in the collection, and a great game for me to play. So yeah, that is the second to last game I did pick up. And then a game I didn't know I didn't have on the PS2. It's a classic game. Everyone's heard of it at this point, and it should get more praise than it does. And that is God of War. Now, I thought I had this in the PS2 collection. I didn't, obviously, because that's why I've got it now. For £20 is not a bad deal. It's not on any other console. It is literally just a PlayStation exclusive. Unless you are picking up the HD collection, I think it is, or something like that. I'll put it up here. But that's on the PS3. You can't get that on anything else apart from that. But yeah, this is a PlayStation exclusive. It is a really, really good condition. They did have 2 copies there. Now, one of them was really bad. Like, it was just yellow spine, tears on the case, everything. It was terrible. So I'm glad they had 2 copies. One was in really good condition, one was in terrible condition. But yeah, there is the front, and there is the back. Now, this is a hack and slash. This is not like the newer God of Wars. Like, it's not very, it is story based, but it's more like a hack and slash. It's not detailed, if that makes sense. But it's a really good game, and it started off the whole franchise of God of War and Kratos. So yeah, then there is the manual in there as well, and obviously the disc, and obviously that good old memory card slot. Let me know in the comments if you ever used that, and for what game did you use it for. But yeah, for £20, it's not a bad deal, and I'm very happy to have this into my PS2 collection, which is really good deal indeed. But yeah, that is the end of the video, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, and also let me know down in the comments what your favourite game that I did pick up was. Personally, for me, it would have to be Saw. It was one of them games that's been on my list for a while to pick up, and I'm glad I found it and picked it up. And also, yeah, make sure to subscribe. There should be like a subscribe button here, and some like 2 videos here and here somewhere, like maybe a playlist or something. But yeah, make sure to click that, and also click some of these because it does help the channel. But yeah, stay awesome, stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.